Most men get disrespected by women because they're not respectable. In order for a woman to feel comfortable in her femininity, the man needs to be masculine. They talk about things that they're going to do and they never do it. And then they expect the woman to be something that they aren't themselves. They're like, a lot of men have forgot that they are supposed to be providers, guides, and protectors.
Women often take good men for granted and end up being with the men who care less about them. And at the end, they try to come back to the good men they have left. But if you are a man listening to me and you are experiencing something like this, never take her back, because she will go back to the same man you are saving her from. Don't do it. I love you.
Women respond to men being aggressive and yelling and shutting them down or walking away from them. That's a problem.
Women were telling a man that they want him to express his feelings, and then when he expresses his feelings, he's feminine.
No. When you're crying and you're like, when you doing certain, like the crying, complaining, you blowing up my phone, doing weird, like feminine things, like she was saying, like that's what she was saying as far as in.
So maybe y'all doing masculine things. Like, you ever thought about that?
Maybe they are doing masculine things, because there's a lot of masculine out here now.
And y'all don't feel like that's a problem?
Yes, it's a problem.
I think
And another thing is that a lot of modern women don't like to take accountability. And a man can't live with you if that's the way that you think. There's nothing that I can do about that. There's nothing that I want to do about that. I can be at home, chilling, taking it easy. Why would I want to sit there and be bothered with you? Why would I want to sit there and have stupidity hanging around me? That's something that we got to figure out. That's the thing that we have to look for. Why would I want to be bothered with somebody that don't know how to act? And when they don't know how to act, they're looking at me like I didn't do something wrong, instead of taking accountability.
When men say I belong in the kitchen, yeah, I do. Do you know how much I would give to just stay here all day, make the kitchen great again? Imagine, welcome home, honey, here's some muffins. What would you like for dinner tonight? I was actually thinking a ribeye with some mashed potatoes and broccoli, and then maybe I can bake you some cookies afterwards. How's that sound? We gave up that for what? So we can get credit cards?
This is how women shoot their shot. They don't, okay? That's the joke. They really don't go and just approach a man and just are like, hey, like, wow, I thought you were really hot. Like, they're not gonna say that, but they're gonna give you some indicators of interest, right? So if they see you, they might be playing with their hair, right? They might be scratching on their skin. They might be, fidgeting with something because they're a little nervous that you're there. They might get close to you and then turn their back on you, right? Or they might be smiling.
A woman can say, well, I want a man to do this, X, Y, and Z. So the man does all of that. He does everything that you're asking him to do. Well, maybe not everything, because, who does everything, right? Not a lot of people. But he's doing a lot of the stuff that you ask him to do. And you return the favor by doing darn near nothing, next to nothing. That's how you return the favor. Next to nothing. You're not getting anything. I'm not thinking about you. You can't give me a kiss on the cheek. Nothing. Now, with that being said, you tell me, what about that would be appealing to a man? And we can wait.
I found a thread on Reddit that was 5 questions to ask yourself if you're unsure about your relationship.
Ooh.
If someone told you you're a lot like your partner, would this be a compliment to you? Are you truly fulfilled or just less lonely?
Nice.
Are you able to be unapologetically yourself, or do you feel the need to show up differently to please your partner?
That's a great
Are you in love with who your partner is right now as a whole, or are you only in love with their good side, their potential, or the idea of them? And would you want your future or imagined child to date someone like your partner?
Oh, those are excellent questions. Because if you say no to any one of them, just end it.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
You ever meet a guy that acts like he likes you, but then his energy feels off most of the time? Like one minute he's giving you all these signs, and then the next minute it's like it's nothing to him. If he's acting like this, he probably likes you, but he's scared to get his little heart hurt as well. First off, he finds reasons to talk to you constantly, but never actually say how he feels. He'll text you random things, send you memes, and just ask these questions to keep the conversation alive. But as soon as things start getting serious, now he's nervous. And if you're wondering how I know this, well, first, I have firsthand experience, but also I asked Magneta for advice on it. If you didn't know, Magneta is the app all the girls are using. If you're not using it, I don't know what you're doing because it's so useful when it comes to relationships and dating. Magneta low-key clocked that man because she said scared of rejection looks like interest without intention. He's warm but not direct, available but never planning. You can feel something there but nothing moves. That feeling is real, and so is the fact that he's choosing comfort over you. Because liking someone and doing nothing about it is not a compliment, by the way. It's not him being cautious or respectful of your pace, and that's not fear, that's convenience. If he wanted to, he would. And if he's not, it's because on some level, he's fine with exactly how things are. Are you?
I think another one of the issues is that when you listen to these modern women and the things that they say, it's always that a man has to be finished while you are still a work in progress. Do you think that's fair that a man has to deal with you and your BS while he has to be the perfect spec?
You're gonna be alright, G. No, she don't want to be with you no more. I know that breaks your heart, but you cannot allow yourself to be in one spot, one position, begging, pleading, chasing over a fucker who don't want to be with you no more, G. I know it hurt. I know it don't feel good. I've been through it multiple times in my life. So I'm not telling you to get up and just make a whole 360 or a whole 180. But what I am telling you is, gentlemen, do not allow this situation to over your life. Do not allow this situation to up everything you done built up to this point. Do not allow this situation to up your momentum and everything that you worked hard for, gentlemen. I know it hurt, I know it doesn't feel good, and I know that you want her to see things differently. You want her to see your value. You want to be with this lady, but the reality is, it's over. Let go, move on with your life, you're gonna be alright, G.
Serenading not a thing anymore. I used to show up to a girl's house who they liked with a guitar and start singing, hoping they'd peek their head out the window. Now men are cocky, their egos.
Hoes gotta stop asking for traditional treatment. You can't be against the patriarchy, but then want men to serenade you like it's 1945. When it literally fought for the breakdown of gender roles. How you gonna not wanna make a sandwich, but when a man to dance out your window black, Spider Guy needs y'all to please shut the up and pick the bear like y'all said. You don't want marriage, you don't want marriage, you don't want children, you don't want children. Only wanna focus on yourselves. So leave men alone and go serenade yourself. Man wants reciprocity for all the work that they done did, but all you wanna do is act like some kid. Oh, get along with your hat on, just please stay inside your home.
You know, it seems like modern women like to use a lot of buzzwords to justify being a gold digger, being a streetwalker, basically, right? You want a man to obviously make a certain amount of money. That's okay, but when you start to say, if he don't pay my bills, then I'm not giving out this cat. If you don't take me on these types of trips, then I'm not giving out this cat. If you don't, and they try to, well, you know, a woman wants to be financially stable and do all of these other things. I get it. I'm right there with you. But we gotta, at some point in time, start calling an ace and a spade a spade. These modern women out here are being irresponsible with their lives.
Are you single?
Yes, I am.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Leah. I'm 34. I'm from Nova Scotia.
What is the kind of relationship dynamic you're currently looking for?
I'm looking for a man with a good sense of humor, who has good banter, has his own life, has his own friend group, looking for someone to add to that.
What do you do for a living?
I actually was a travel nurse for 8 years. So I came to BC, absolutely loved it. And now I have a full-time position here. I work in the ICU, so high stress, but I like to have fun also.
Outside of work, what are your hobbies?
Do all the BC things, pretty much anything outside. I like to hike, I like to ski, I like to golf.
What kind of values are you looking for in a partner?
Someone who's trustworthy, has strong family values, respectful to their partner.
What would be your ideal first date?
Contrary to popular belief, I don't like a dinner date for my first date. I'm like maybe coffee, drink, maybe go for a walk, kind of get to know each other, feel the chemistry out, and then we can kind of put effort in going forward.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm financially celibate until marriage. It's my wallet, it's my choice. And society, the world, will tell a man that he has to fund the lifestyle of a woman who hasn't committed to him or even committed to building anything with them. You're paying white prices for a girlfriend, privileges, and that ain't the move. A man who protects his money, he's not broke. He's not cheap, he's disciplined. Because it's smart to be saving for the woman that actually wants to build your empire with you. So let me just say this. If she's only interested in you when you're spending, she don't want you, bro. She wants your money. She wants a sponsor. So like I said, my wallet, my choice.
And the one thing that modern women will continue to do is talk themselves out of help. They'll continue to talk themselves out of assistance. And they'll continue to let their pride and their ego get them in trouble. I don't need no man. I don't want you to take the lead. Get out of my way. I can do it. Or I don't need no man. I don't need you to provide. I can do this, and this. And when a man step back and say, oh, you got it, because that's a man's nature, is a step back. If you told me you got it, that's what I would do with my friends. I'm trying to help you out unless I see you falling over. Then I'm not going to help. Okay, he said he got it. That's a boundary that men don't cross. Not a lot of times. If he say he got it, he got it. I don't think he does, but if he says he got it, he got it. Unless he don't, I can clearly see he don't got it. Modern women are the world's best at continuing to show face, to put on a front. And a man said, I wouldn't have it at this point in time. I think she needs help. But she told me not to help. She told me to leave her alone. I can't really tell if she needs help or not. And even when you can see that that woman clearly needs help, once again, there's been some weird stuff going on with these modern women to where you go and try to help them and they turn on you. So everything that I would have done naturally as a man, I'm second guessing myself because you've twisted and turned everything with your bad behavior.
One of the most painful things for a man is feeling unwanted. Mm-hmm. One of the most painful experiences a man can feel in a relationship is the sense that he is no longer wanted. At first, the change can be subtle. Conversations become shorter, affection becomes rare, and the emotional connection begins to fade. A man might try to ignore it in the beginning. He may tell himself that his partner is simply stressed or going through a difficult time. But when that distance continues, the message slowly becomes clear. Men often express love through effort. They try to support, protect, and provide in different ways. But when those efforts are met with indifference or rejection, it creates a deep sense of loneliness. Many men never talk about this feeling openly. Instead, they slowly withdraw their energy. Because when someone feels unwanted for long enough, they eventually stop fighting for a place where they no longer feel valued. And sometimes that quiet withdrawal changes everything.
You're going to want to listen to this.
There has to be boundaries in relationships when it comes to communication and how we're going to resolve stuff. It just can't be a free-for-all. My wife, 25 years ago, because the first 5 years for us were hard. Boundary. You cannot talk to me in that tone. Boundary. I will no longer tolerate you shutting down on me for 3 days. Boundary. I will no longer tolerate you fighting me the way you're fighting me. Boundary. If it means that we have to separate, if it means that we got to call a timeout on this relationship so that we can establish healthy boundaries, so be it. Because if there are no boundaries, there can be no accountability.
The most important thing that he just said is the timeout part, right? When somebody violates a boundary, the idea is you stop the relationship. Sometimes you stop it for 5 minutes, sometimes permanently, but the relationship has to stop.
And one of the things I don't think modern women understand, or they don't want to really give men credit for, is a man being competent. Right? And so they think the way they do things is the more competent way. And they'll sit up in your face and talk to you as if the stuff that you're doing is wrong. Like, God forbid, I don't need art and decoration and all this other stuff. I mean, it's nice to have, but I don't really need it in my apartment. That's not a need. Well, you don't have all these foods, this, and this in your apartment. It's just me. Why would I have a fridge full of stuff that I'm not going to eat? I have the food that I eat. Oh man, you got this, you got that. You only got ground beef and rice. Is there anything that else I actually need? I mean, yeah, I can switch it up and find some other stuff. But there was one woman upset about trainers telling them what to eat and how to operate at a caloric deficit. Basically, as I think I remember it. They don't know women's bodies. What? So they say a lot of stupid stuff. They try to act like men aren't competent, when really, it's just that he doesn't do it the way that you want him to do it. He doesn't allow you to get away with stuff that's not actually true. That's not actually true.
If he says he doesn't want to be with you, he want to be friends, and you know you want to be with him, do not be his friend just to keep him in your life. You are going to resent that man for not changing his mind, and you're going to be upset with yourself for doing all of the things that you're going to do to try to convince him to change his mind. You're going to be very, very, very upset with yourself, and you're not going to be able to blame anyone but yourself, because he told you he didn't want to be with you. He told you he just wanted to be friends, and instead of accepting that and truly, truly accepting it, you said you accepted it, but then you went ahead and auditioned and tried to convince him to change his mind. And when he didn't, you became mad at him for not seeing what a great woman you are, and mad at yourself for doing all of that just to get nothing in return. I understand a lot of women are like, well, why do men say that they don't want a relationship but they act like they do? We cannot control anyone's behavior but our own. I can't control that he's acting like he wants to be with me, but he really doesn't. What I can control, though, is whether I stay or leave. You stay there and let him play with you. You stay there and let him treat you like a girlfriend, and every other day he had to tell you, you're not my girl. You let him do that. Don't let him do that.
He might not have told you this, but my daughters do not respect men.
If a man ever comes out and tells you something like this about his daughter, leave her right where she's standing. Viewer discretion is advised.
So I'm letting you know that now, and I'm not joking when I tell you that, brother. And they have mouths when it comes to them getting into disagreements and engagements with men.
In other words, his daughters are verbal, and they him as well. You can just tell by the speech in his voice, he's not trying to go too high, he's not trying to go too low. Although he wants to tell the truth, he can't say too much because he don't want them to turn their energy towards him.
And they will verbally put some lashings on you, brother, because they don't respect men. I'm just giving it to you forefront, brother, so you know what you're going into.
What's most unique about this video was his daughter's the one recording. And she brought her boyfriend over to meet her father. And instead of her father, doing the typical dad thing, which is like, what's your intentions with my daughter and things of that nature, her dad is giving a full-fledged warning. If that young brother don't run the other way, I know something. For her father to completely abandon the traditional way of interviewing a young man for his daughter, he says, nah, what's more important is for me to let him know he about to give her, and in certain cases, possibly even physical. Now, although I can appreciate him coming out and being completely honest about it. Fellas, we gotta make better decisions when dating these women, especially when the signs are right in our face. It don't get no better than that. It's coming from her father. Leave her right where she stand. And for the record, the only reason I'm making this video is because if it was the other way around and the mother was telling her son's daughter, like, hey, listen, my son don't respect women. He don't listen to nobody. He got a mouth on him. And there's even a possibility that he just might put his hands on you. They would have crucified that young boy. But for this situation, it was all laughs and giggles. Nah, that ain't cool. Now, typically, I tell y'all, you ain't got to listen to me because I'm just a normal guy. But in this video, please listen to me. Take the warnings. Y'all keep it changing.
A lot of these modern women refuse to go 50-50. They refuse. I was listening to Stephen A. The other day, and I think he was doing an interview with him. I want to say Shannon Sharp, and he was talking about all of the things that he brought to the table. And he was like, man, if I'm walking in and I'm having to cook, after all of the things that I bring to the table, I'll take you out to eat. I'll take you out to eat. I'll take you and eat, start a listing off the things that, yeah, I'll do that for you. But if I have to come in after doing all of that and cook, what do I need you for? And that's the thing a lot of men are asking. You don't have any money. I'm still going to ask the same question. If I have to go out there and bust my band, because the work's going to be the same. The work is going to be the same. I have to go out there. I might not get paid as much as Stephen A. But I put in a lot. I might even put a lot more effort than Stephen A. He might be working in terms of mental. I might be working in terms of physical. The work that I do takes a physical toll on my body. And so if I'm putting my body on the line, he puts his mind on the line or whatever. If we're doing that, but in different ways, we're going to ask the same question. Because the sacrifice is going to be the same. The mental effort, the physical effort is going to be similar. And so I'm going to arrive as a man at the same conclusion. And that's going to be, what is it that you're bringing to the table? I'm telling you, they don't understand. You're going to run into that same question at every level. And the only difference between a man that you think is a lower level and the man that you think is a higher level is that man's going to sit there and look at you. Did I stutter? No.
The fastest way to lose a good man isn't cheating. It's becoming his biggest source of stress instead of his peace. Men don't leave because someone prettier came along. They leave because home became harder than the world. When a man is dealing with work pressure, financial stress, the weight of providing, he needs one place to breathe. That place should be you. But modern women forgot this.
They compete with their man instead of complimenting him. They challenge every decision,
Question his leadership, turn conversations into debates. That's not partnership. That's exhausting.
They compete with their man instead of complimenting him. They challenge every decision.
A man doesn't need you to be his therapist or his mother. He needs you to be his woman. Soft where the world is hard, warm where everything else is cold, loyal when everyone else is conditional. When a woman makes home undefeatable, when she feeds him, desires him, chooses him daily, that man doesn't even see other women.
Not because he can't, but because nothing out there competes with what he has at home.
Loyalty isn't a promise. It's a reality you create. If your man is distant, ask yourself, am I adding to his peace or his problems? Make home his sanctuary or watch him find peace somewhere else.
Let him go. The reason you keep getting hurt is because you don't leave the first time. Everything a man does is intentional, so leave the first time he disrespects you. When you don't feel loved, when you feel unwanted, when he cheats, when he lies, or if you find yourself constantly trying to decode mixed signals, listen. When your gut is telling you that you don't belong there anymore, but your mind keeps making excuses for him, that's your downfall. You're attached to his potential, and potential is where women lose years. Giving someone too many chances teaches them that you will tolerate almost anything. Don't confuse loyalty with love. The longer you stay, the more your self-worth adapts to the treatment until disrespect starts to feel normal. Boundaries are not just for him. They're for you. So leave. You will be okay, because if you don't, you won't stay forever anyway. You'll just stay longer. You'll lose months, years, until you start resenting him, until you feel nothing. And by the time you finally leave, you've already processed the breakup over and over again in your head. The grief, the anger, you've lived it multiple times before you even walked away. So most women don't leave too late because they're weak. They leave too late because they don't recognize the pattern early enough. The first time he disrespects you is not the problem. Staying after is.
Wives, you want to be treated better by your husband? It comes a lot of times through setting good boundaries and rules within the home in a sense. That how you expect to be treated is really how you're going to be treated. If you allow yourself to be a doormat, if you allow your husband to walk over you, if you allow your husband not to be kind to you, well, the only way to change that is for you to begin to say that's unacceptable. There's things that I do that my wife goes, no, we don't get to do that. That's not, you don't get, she'll say things like, no, I don't hang out with Grumpy Scott. And so I've got to learn that I don't get to be grumpy. I don't get to have a bad attitude. And that's a healthy thing. She doesn't say it mean. She doesn't say it in a nagging way. She just says, that's not acceptable. You don't get to talk to me like that. You don't get to act that way. You don't get to be, and it's a healthy boundary of raising your expectations that you should expect, that you shouldn't have to carry stuff in from the car that he's around, that you shouldn't have to carry stuff down to the beach, that you begin to say, no, you're the man. You open my door for me. I'm worth that. I'm a very valuable part of this family, and I need you to treat me in that way. I expect you to take me out on a date every week. I expect that when you come home that you're going to talk. I expect that when we're having a conversation, my wife's, no, I don't talk to somebody who's on their phone. So if you want to talk to me, great. I'd love to talk to you, but you'll need to put your phone down because I'm not going to battle you with your phone. It's done in love, it's done in kindness, but it's also an expectation. Begin to expect more out of your marriage.
What's funny is that a lot of these modern women out here, they say silly stuff like, oh, he's a senior engineer at his job, makes good money, got a good job, he's stable, but because she don't know what the heck she's doing, she'll go out there and be like, oh, he wasn't ambitious enough for me. What? Yeah, he wasn't doing it like I was doing it. He's not on my level. Bam. You make $10 a month. That man probably make 250 to 200K. He's well above. He's well above anything that you could have even imagined or dreamed of. And he sit up there stupid. Like, what were you looking for? What should he be doing? Literally. I'm thinking of a woman that said something to the effect of, the matchmaker was confused. She was like, hey, he's a doctor, he's doing this, and this. What kind of doctor is he? She said this. I'm not joking. I can't remember the name of the I can see her face. I can't remember. Essentially, and you've probably seen her. I think at one point in time she even made her around social media. I know of another creator that actually did a video on her. She's vetting these women, and these women are saying, well, where's he doing his residency at? Can we get, transcripts and, confirm that this is what he's doing? Because this, based on what my dad told me, this is the type of doctor that I'm looking for. What?